Hello everyone, my name is Sora Kang. I'm a PhD student at the Human-Computer Interaction Design Lab at Seoul National University. Today, I'm excited to present our paper titled GenSync, Bridging Intergenerational Communication Gaps with Generative AI. Our research focuses on an AI-driven tool designed to overcome language barriers between generations, exploring how technology can foster stronger family connections and enhance communication within families. So let's begin by exploring the background and problem our study addresses. Communication is essential in any society and is particularly important for building and maintaining strong family relationships. However, we found that differences in language use across generations often create barriers to effective communication within families. For instance, younger generations often use slang, memes, and expressions from the internet or social media. These can be confusing or even incomprehensible to older family members like parents or grandparents. As shown in the example on the slide, a message using these expressions might leave them puzzled. Such language barriers can lead to misunderstanding, making conversations less meaningful and reducing the sense of closeness within families. To tackle this problem, we created GenSync, a tool that helps bridge the gap between generations by translating their unique ways of speaking. I'll go into more detail shortly, but GenSync uses GPT-4 model to translate slang, social media terms, and generation-specific phrases. This makes family conversations smoother and easier for everyone to follow. In the next slide, we'll look at some of the related works behind it in three main areas: generational language patterns and CMC, computer-mediated communication, and how AI is used in CMC. Generational language differences come from the unique social and cultural environments each generation grows up in. For example, the silent generations values formal and respectful communication shaped by tradition and resilience. And baby boomers focus on trust and community in their language. Generation X and millennials blend traditional expressions with digital slang and memes because of the rise of internet culture. And Generation Z, heavily influenced by social media, prefers informal communication with emojis and slang. Looking ahead, Generation Alpha may rely even more on symbols and AI-driven interactions. These differences can create communication barriers within families, leading to misunderstandings and emotional distance, especially between parents and children. Next, let's explore how computer-mediated communication, or CMC tools, have made significant progress in addressing three major challenges in communication: time, space, and culture. To address temporal gaps, tools like email and instant messaging enable asynchronous communication. This allows individuals to connect even when they are not online at the same time. For spatial gaps, platforms such as Zoom create virtual spaces that makes face-to-face interaction possible, no matter how far apart people may be. And finally, cultural gaps are addressed through tools like language translators, which help bridge language and cultural differences, enabling more effective and clear communication. However, despite these advancements, one critical gap remains largely overlooked: the communication barriers between generations. This is where GenSync comes in. GenSync is specifically designed to address this challenge, enabling smoother and more meaningful interactions between family members across different generations. Now, let's turn our attention to related works in generative AI and its role in CMC. The advent of large language models has brought transformative changes to CMC. These models enable features like personalized responses and context-aware translations, revolutionizing the way we interact in digital spaces. However, the majority of research and applications to date have focused on general uses. Examples include drafting professional emails, recommending entertainment content, or supporting multilingual translations. While these advancements are significant, there has been limited exploration of how generative AI can address the specific challenges of generational language gaps within families. This gap underscores the pressing need for a generative AI-based solution designed specifically to bridge the linguistic divide between generations. Such a tool could play a critical role in fostering better understanding and more meaningful communication in family settings. In summary, generational language differences pose significant challenges to communication within families. While current computer-mediated communication tools and translation systems have made strides in addressing various communication gaps, they fall short when it comes to resolving these specific generational language barriers. Generative AI has demonstrated great potential for bridging such divides through features like personalized and context-aware translations. Yet, there remains a noticeable absence of systems explicitly designed to address these generational challenges. To fill this gap, our study introduced GenSync, a generative AI-powered language translation system purposefully created to tackle these issues. By enhancing the quality of intergenerational communication, GenSync aims to foster deeper understanding and strengthen familiar bonds. Moving on to the design and development of GenSync, this system is built on GPT-4 model with a strong emphasis on achieving accurate and meaningful generational translations. Its prompt structure is carefully designed, combining direct instructions, example pairs, output format demonstrations, and an embedded slang dictionary. For the slang dictionary, we created a comprehensive resource specifically focused on translating K slang, the colloquial language commonly used by Generation Z in Korea. To construct this dictionary, we gathered data through web crawling and user interviews, compiling detailed entries for each slang term. These entries include the term's meaning, a standard Korean translation, and contextual example sentences. In terms of interface design, we utilize Bubble.io to develop a chat interface that supports real-time interactions. Three distinct versions of the interface were deployed. The controlled versions, or version A, is a basic chat interface without any translation capabilities, serving as a baseline for comparison. Black box mode, or version B, provides translations, but the original text is hidden from the user, offering a simplified experience. In contrast, transparent mode, or version C, displays both the original and translated text, enabling users to observe how the translation process works. Now, let's take a closer look at the experiment study and results. To evaluate GenSync, we conducted a study involving 16 family teams, a total of 32 participants. Each team included one teenager who frequently used K-slang in their daily communication, one older adult, at least 10 years older, who used standard Korean. The age differences ranged from one generation to as much as 3 generations, or over 30 years. All participants took part in 3 experimental conditions, and the order of these conditions was randomized for each group. The experiment was conducted remotely over Zoom, and before the session, participants completed a pre-survey and they joined the experiment from separate space to minimize any potential awkwardness of texting while sitting together. After logging into the interface, they were guided on how the system worked, and participants were then asked to engage in conversations using GenSync across 4 topics: casual, emotional, informational, and entertainment-related discussions. We used both quantitative and qualitative methods to evaluate the effectiveness of GenSync. For the quantitative analysis, we conducted surveys during and after the experiment. Statistical analysis using ANOVA test and Turkish HSD post-hoc analysis revealed significant differences between the 3 experimental conditions. For the qualitative analysis, we conducted 30 to 40-minute interviews following the experiments. These interviews were recorded, transcribed, and analyzed using Atlas TI. The responses were categorized into 3 key themes: conversation quality, relationship quality, and user experience. So let's get the numbers. First, conversational quality was rated highest in transparent mode C with an average score of 3.53. This was significantly higher than the control mode at 3 and black box mode at 2.63. Participants noted that the ability to see the original and translated text in transparent mode ensure accuracy and enhance their trust in the system. In contrast, black box mode scored lower as the hidden translation process raised concerns about accuracy and awkwardness of unusual texting tones from each other. Second, for relationship quality, which includes metrics such as family intimacy and intergenerational closeness, transparent mode also performed best. Family intimacy scored 3.63 in transparent mode compared to 3.28 in control mode and 2.59 in black box mode. Similarly, intergenerational intimacy was highest in transparent mode with a score of 3.84. Participants highlighted that being able to see both the original and translated text helped maintain a natural flow of conversation and fostered a deeper understanding of each other's language styles. Finally, user experience was rated highest for transparent mode as well. Participants valued the transparency, which not only built trust but also reduced misunderstandings. Interviews confirmed that seeing the translation process in action improved usability and increased participants' confidence in the tool. The GenSync experiment highlighted the importance of transparency in addressing generational language gaps. Participants using black box mode often reported awkward and disconnected conversation due to the hidden translation process, which limited their ability to verify accuracy or contextualize the communication. In contrast, transparent mode significantly improves understanding, communication flow, and conversational quality by allowing users to see both the original and translated text. This feature helped reduce translation errors and fostered greater intimacy between family members. While GenSync enhanced conversational quality, its impact on relationship improvement depended on factors such as translation accuracy, user expectation, conversation styles, and family dynamics. Key recommendations for future development include increasing transparency to build trust, enhancing the system's ability to capture informal and emotional nuances, improving adaptability for unconventional inputs, and designing user-centric interfaces tailored to diverse generational preferences. Lastly, let's discuss the limitations and future work for GenSync. The limitations of this study point to several key areas for improvement and serve as a foundation for future research. First, the study's small and culturally specific sample focused on Korean participants may limit the generalizability of the findings. Expanding the participant pool to include a broader range of cultural and linguistic groups will enhance the applicability of the results. Similarly, the focus on Korean language patterns, particularly K-slang, restricts the tool's relevance to other languages and cultural contexts. Future research should incorporate multilingual support to broaden GenSync's impact and make it applicable across diverse communication settings. Currently, GenSync is primarily designed for mobile communication. Therefore, future studies could explore its application in real-world family communication scenarios to better understand its effectiveness in natural settings. Moreover, the long-term effects of tools like GenSync on family relationships remain unexplored. Investigating its sustained impact on intergenerational communication and intimacy will provide deeper insights into its potential as a tool for fostering meaningful family connections. In conclusion, GenSync is more than a translation tool. It's a bridge between generations. By addressing generational language barriers, it has the potential to transform family communication, fostering understanding and intimacy. I hope this study serves as a foundational step for further research in this direction. Thank you for listening.